Hi, good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. I'm so excited you're here for the Kajam kickoff. I'm seeing now Kajam is backwards behind me, but I think you know what we're here for. So everyone, today we have a big agenda. We have some really special guests joining us, and we will be, oh, can you guys not see me? That's very weird. Okay, let me try again. But what I'm going to do is, first up, I'm going to invite a couple other of our hosts up on the screen and allow them to introduce themselves while I work out my camera situation. It was just working. So let's start with Ornella.
Hey everyone, I'm Ornella. Excited to be here today. I am a developer relations here at Replit, and if I were a video game character, I think I would be Spyro the Dragon.
I'll go next. Oh, all right. So many of you all know me already. I am Nathan. I'm a community manager here at Replit. And I think one of the video game characters that I probably identify with and appreciate is Phoenix Wright from Ace Attorney. Pretty cool guy.
Nice. All right, we've got Ornella, Nathan, Tiga, go ahead.
Hey everyone, my name is Tiga. I'm working here at Replit. I'm the developer of Kaboom. And if I'm gonna be a video game character, I'd probably be Wario.
Why?
Because I just like him. I like his style.
Nice. H, go ahead.
Hey, hello people, I'm H. I hope you know me already, but I'm a community manager. And if I were to be a video game character, I'd say I'd be Desmond Miles before he was abducted by Abstergo.
Nice. And then we also have Lily joining us.
Yo, how's everyone?
Hey, Lily.
My name is Lily, and I'm a community intern at Raplet. For the video game thing, I don't really play video games, so please pass me on that.
Awesome. No problem. And everyone, I think you already know me. My name's Lena. Here's my face. I'm here. Thanks for your patience. And I think if I was a video game character, I'd be Isabelle from Animal Crossing, because I think she's sweet, maybe a little annoying, but she's got the information you need. So that's me. Now, we also have joining us today for the kickoff our judges. So I'm going to pull the Replit team down just to make room on our screen for Anya and Vimlark, who are joining us today. Anya, tell us about yourself and what video game character do you most identify with?
Hey everyone, my name is Anya and I'm a software developer as well as course creator on my own channel as well as Free Code Camp. You might have seen me on there or making some fun JavaScript games. And the video character that I will definitely have to say that I kind of like feel like we'd be in the same family is Link from the Legend of Zelda, just, you know, hair color and all that. Plus, I just love the game. It's so good.
I could see that. I could see that. Awesome. And Vimlark, welcome. Thanks for being here. What about you?
Thanks for having me. Hi, everyone. I'm Vimlark. I make games on like YouTube and Twitch. I mostly am a game jam person. That's kind of my main thing that I do. And yeah, super excited to be here. If I were, I guess, video game character, I'd probably go with Wilson from Don't Starve. I like to make stuff, but it doesn't always work out properly.
It's good to know your limits. We might have some other judges joining us in just a little bit. If they're already here, shout me out in the chat. I'll make sure you get backstage access. And we also have Ebony joining us in the chat, who is the brains behind Metal and Coffee, who will be doing a Kaboom Twitch stream this week, which we'll tell you about a little later. All right. So just to give you an overview of what's going on today, we are going to talk a bit about the jam details, things like how to submit, who's eligible, what the prizes are. We'll answer some of your questions as well, so keep that chat active but healthy. We are going to do a workshop where Tiga will teach the amazing Ornella how to code a game in Kaboom. And you all will be invited to share your own feedback on that game. Maybe what the characters you think should be, what other things. They'll ask you for some insight as well, and you can also follow along and learn with Ornella. And then after that, we'll do final announcements. And oh yeah, we'll announce the theme. All right, so let's get this started. First up, I'm going to bring Nathan on stage to talk to us about the prizes.
Yeah, of course. We have a very similar amount of prizes. Let's see. I think the slides appear to be blank for now. Hopefully they'll come
Not
up.
again.
It was working. I swear it was working just a moment ago. Unfortunate, but we have a lot of prizes. Many of you are probably already familiar with a lot of the prizes that we have. I can just say them, and then people can picture them.
Hold on. I think
minds.
I've almost got it.
Okay, I think we're gonna get this to work.
I worked hard on these slides.
They are amazing slides. Yes, I can see it.
Amazing. All right. So, what's our first prize?
Our first prize is going to be the most creative. So this is going to require out-of-the-box thinking. We want to see REPLs, submissions that we have never seen before. We would have never thought. Create like your own like game genre. Like we want these to be incredibly creative, incredibly unique, and that is going to require you to take risks if you want to win this award. And this award, like many others, is a $5,000 prize. There are two exceptions. All the awards otherwise are going to be $5,000 prizes. Most creative is one of them. So if you want to get this award, take risks, be creative, and make something new. For the next award, we have Best Story. And I'm going to read this verbatim. Once upon a time, there was a pile of $5,000 lying around. After a few days, this pile of money thought, you know what I like? A story. So, help us fulfill this pile of money's goals by creating an amazing story in your submission. Think of all the other books, other maybe storylines from games you've played, movies. Think about what makes that story unique. What makes it interesting? There's lots of resources online when it comes to writing. And I think a lot of the time, story is something that is overlooked in most of the submissions that we've seen. A lot of people focus on the game. But I think all the greatest games out there have amazing stories included. It shouldn't be overlooked, especially if you want this $5,000 award. Next one, we have Most Polished. I know there are certain people watching this stream who will stop at nothing to make sure that their submission is absolutely perfect. And this award is for those people. Now, if you are someone who spent a few days, created a submission, submitted it, called it a day, that's probably not going to cut it for Most Polished. Most Polished is for people who are able to put in time and remove all the mistakes, all the glitches, leave nothing left incomplete. Now, obviously, nothing's perfect, but if you want this award, you got to get pretty close. So for those out there who will stop at nothing to make sure that their submission is almost perfect, this is an easy $5,000 for you. Then for the next award, we have one of my favorites, the Most Hilarious Award. We had a similar award, if not the same award, last time we did this massive game jam, and the submissions we got just really, really made me laugh. I thoroughly enjoyed. You guys watching this are some very, very funny people, and I cannot wait to see what you make to try and get this award. And of course, you can combine awards. Maybe you create a really good story that's really funny and a really polished, really funny story. 3 awards right there. So no harm in trying to get this award. If you think you've got some good jokes you've been saving up but haven't had the time to maybe share with other people, this is your moment. Put some humor, put some levity in your game, and this award could be yours. And then I think for the next one, yes, we have the best Kaboom game. So obviously, for the Kajam game jam, you are allowed to use whatever you like to create your game. As long as it runs on Replit, you can use it. But we created Kajam for a reason. And part of that reason was to show off the awesome JavaScript Kaboom game library. And if you decide to use the JavaScript Kaboom game library, you will be automatically included to try in this award. Create any game and you decide to use Kaboom to make that game, you're eligible to win the Best Kaboom Game Award. So, while once again, Kaboom is not required, it is if you want to get this $5,000 prize. And then this is a new award, one we have not done before. This is, drum roll please, I don't have drums, next slide, the Best Crowd Pleaser Award. So this award is unique. It's not as much as some of the other prizes at $5,000. It's a $1,000 prize, but it is different than the other prizes. While all the other prizes will be done by judges, reviewing, giving their own opinions, their thoughts on the prize, this award is simply given to any kind of jam submission that gets the most likes, gets shares on specifically TikTok. So if you want to share your Kajam submission and you end up getting lots of likes, lots of shares, you could potentially win this award. Should note, go back to the previous slide. This is the big one. Should note, important to note, this is an important detail. If you want to submit it, share your REPL on TikTok and then tag us at Replit and use the hashtag Kajam. So keep that in mind. You can't just share it on TikTok. You also need to tag us and include the Kajam hashtag. Okay, now to the main award, the main prize, the grand prize. This is not a $5,000 award. It's not a $6,000. It's not an $8,000. It is a $10,000 grand prize. This is for the best overall submission. You were creative in your post. It had a great story. It was polished. It was hilarious. That is what makes you eligible for the grand prize. Games that win the grand prize are basically could be put on Steam, Epic Game Store any day. It is a fantastic game that we think deserves recognition. That is what the grand prize is for, and what probably all of you will be striving for when you create your REPLs, your submissions. And with that, I believe that is all the prizes we have for the Kajam Game Jam. Oh, you are muted.
All right. I see people calling me Granny in the chat, and I accept. I can't even argue with that.
No, I think people think that's the theme.
Oh, it's Granny? No, that's just the theme of any live stream I do. Thank you, Nathan, for going through the prizes. Nathan's in the chat. He's actually Replit today in the chat. So you'll be talking to both of us.
What of Replit? There's another Replit.
There's another one. So feel free to ask him in the chat if you have any questions about prizes. I'm going to remove you, Nathan, unless you want to stay on for banter. Actually, I'm going to keep you on for banter. It's fun. So I know you all have tons of ideas already running through your head. You're waiting for the theme to really finalize some things. But I want you to keep in mind these requirements for anything that you submit. So any game that you build needs to be runnable on Replit, and you need to host it on Replit. So those of you who are like, what about Unity? That's okay. Just make sure that you host it on Replit. People can run it there and play it. The goal is, we want people to be able to come to Replit, play all these great games, and check them out. It's even better if you're running it on Replit, but I know that's not possible for all game devs. If you're building it on Replit. It needs to be built within the 7 days of the jam. So between now and next Saturday, you got to be building this game. If you built something before, that doesn't count. Get a new idea. Start something cool and creative. It can't be something that someone else built either. So please do not reuse or plagiarize any material for your game. I've got the submission time and date right there. Keep in mind that's Pacific time. Whenever you're in doubt about Replit times, they're going to be in Replit Standard Time, which is California. Make sure that your game is appropriate and that you follow our terms of service and our community standards. I know that some of you might want to go a little overboard with most hilarious, or once you know our theme, who knows what will come to mind. But keep it appropriate. Remember, we've got people participating from ages 14 all the way up. And sometimes people might be sharing games with their kids. So make sure that you keep them PG. Make sure you keep them respectful so you keep our community a safe place for everyone. The next requirement is to publish your game to replit.com/community with the hashtag Kajam 2022. All right. So if you're not familiar with this, when you build your REPL, you'll have the option to hit publish, go through the publishing flow, and you can add that tag to it. And then lastly, make sure that you are submitting it through our submission form at kajam.replit.com. That'll allow us to get the right information from you so we can stay in contact and so that we can consider you for the right prizes. All right. Yes, Ironclad just mentioned in the chat, please don't publish your entries as templates, just publish them to community. Something cool that will also happen is that you can check out other people's games under that tag in community. So if you're getting bored and you want to play a video game, check out what other people have published there.
That's one of my favorite things to do after these game jams, even during the game jams, because people will be sharing their games before it's over, looking through what other people have made, even if it's not an award-winning game. We have so many games that a lot of them are really good. Highly recommend checking out these games once they're published.
Awesome. I'm getting some other notes from our team as people are keeping up with the chat a little better than I can. So for folks in India or China who want to submit a crowd pleaser, YouTube Shorts is a good idea. You can definitely use that. Again, make sure you're tagging our YouTube account and using the hashtag Kajam. We'll make sure to update on our site in the prize section so that's clear. Thank you all for bringing that up. We want to make sure you all are able to participate too. The last thing is I just want to be super, super clear. These last two bullets, you got to do both of them. Your game needs to be published to our community with that hashtag, and you need to submit the form. So don't miss out because you only did one of those things and not both of them. All of this information's on the site. We are also on Discord if you have any questions and need more information.
And if you're looking for the form to submit it on Kajam game.replit.com. It's not available yet, but it will be shortly, and it'll be available when you go to submit your game.
Yep. Thanks, Nathan. So to go a little more in depth with details about the hackathon, I'm going to pull H on screen. And H, do you want to just go through our commonly asked questions?
Yeah, sure thing. Can you go to the next slide, please?
Yeah.
Okay. So as usual, everyone above the age of 13 can participate, because under 13 we cannot really collect their details. And moving on, you do not have to follow the theme. There is one thing that I need to make clear. Following the theme will increase your chances of winning any prize, but you do not have to. Sometimes you just can make some really good stuff without matching the theme. But theme will get you extra points.
The theme is fun too. Like, challenge yourself to meet the theme.
Yeah. And yes, so this is also a very commonly asked question. You can team up with as many people as you want. You can join our Discord to look for more people. Just make a good game. You can have as many people as you want on the team.
I will say, if your team wins a prize, it'll be up to whoever's Replit account the game is hosted on. They'll receive the prize money, and then it'll be their job to dispense it amongst their team. H, can you talk about how people can find teammates if they don't know who they're working with yet?
Yeah, sure thing. So you can join our Discord. Let me just share the link in chat. There we go. So you can join our Discord from that link. And we have this Kajam 22 channel in our Discord where you can look for other people who are planning to team up with someone and they don't have a team yet. You can also join them and build a team together.
Yeah, bring a pitch. Be like, I'm curious. I want to build a text-based adventure game, and I only have skills in science fiction writing. Find someone who can match up with your skills and help you build a super team.
And practically, when you're kind of sharing, when you're asking to kind of gather a team, make sure you share things like what your time zone is. If there's any like specific days that you might not be available, like these are kind of these small scheduling things, even though you can largely work asynchronous with multiple people, but making sure that you're working with someone who's going to be online at the same time as you is very important.
Yeah, and there's a team matching channel on the Discord too, or a thread in the Kajam channel.
If you're ever lost on Discord, just at Nathan Zwack, and he will point you in the right direction, or Lily will also help you out in finding where you need to go.
As someone who's always lost on Discord, I can attest to that.
There you go.
Okay, so moving on. As Lena just said, your projects do not have to be built on Replit. We do prefer them being built on Replit, but they don't have to be. You can use Unity. For Unity specifically, you can export as a WebGL and then put it on a REPL, an HTML REPL, and it will work on Replit. So you can do that. You can do similar things with other game engines as well. So the end product should be runnable on Replit, but you don't have to build on Replit. That's all there is to this.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, you do not have to use Kaboom.js. We love Kaboom.js. No, this is not the final question, but you still do not have to use Kaboom.js. We love Kaboom.js. It's really easy to use as well, as you're soon about to see. It is super easy. So I will definitely recommend trying it out if you haven't yet, but you don't have to use it necessarily for this channel. You can use anything you like. And okay, this is the final question. You will only be eligible to win one prize. So whichever one you do better at, whichever prize your game is more fitting for, is prize you'll win. But you'll only win one prize, even if your game satisfies the conditions for more than one.
I saw someone asking in the chat too if all members of a team should post their game. Please don't do that. It will make judging a lot more complicated for us. So just have one representative who's posting it and submitting for you.
But make sure that representative includes you in the description and includes mentions to your profiles when it is submitted. As well, I saw another question if using a game engine outside of Kaboom will decrease your points, like using the like not following the theme might decrease your points. It won't. So feel free to use whatever game engine you want to use. The only thing that not using Kaboom will restrict you from is the Kaboom award. Otherwise, there is no points deducted. You're free to use whatever you want. Make your own game engine if you're feeling ambitious, and have fun.
And just to be clear, you can enter to win multiple prizes, but you can only win one. So when you go to submit in the submission form, there's a checklist and you can check off which prizes you want to be eligible for.
Awesome. Yeah, when you see the submission form, it will all make sense. But you can always ping us if you have any questions. Oh, Raul is asking, can you show how you publish a game on Replit? We'll show you that during the workshop, actually. So stay tuned. We'll walk you through the whole building process and publishing. Yep. All right. Lily, I'm going to pull you onto the stage to talk about mentorship. And for those of you who might be joining for the first time, maybe it's just your second time, or maybe it's your 100th time, but you still want some thought partners or people to help you out with your code, she's going to tell you about how to do that. Lily, go ahead.
Hey, so hackathons and code times are fun, but they can be really hard and you might get stuck somewhere. That's why we always need mentors in any hackathon and jams. And we at Rapid have set up 10 mentors who are amazing people, who are amazing at coding and are just great people in general. They are there to help you with any maybe coding help, or if you want to brainstorm with them, they are there to help you. The process is really easy. All you need to do is you have to join our Discord server, and we have a channel called Kajam Help. You can find it easily. Should I share my screen?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
While Lily pulls up her screen, I'll address a question from the chat, which is how time zones are considered. So the deadline is midnight. What was it? I had it on a slide. Let's jump to our requirements. 11:59 p.m. on July 2nd, and that's going to be in Pacific time, so California. All right. Lily, there you go.
All right. Can you all see my screen?
Yep.
Awesome. So here we have in Journal Raplet, we have Jam Help channel where you can see and ping mentors to help you with anything you need, whether it's brainstorming or if you're stuck with any coding issue, you can share with the mentors and they will help you. It's really easy to get help. You just need to ping mentors with this Kajam mentor thing. Let me show you. And you just need to post your question. Be sure not to just post, hey, you need to address your question. And if you have, if you want to know the process, you can check out the ping message and you can get all the information here as well. So that's it for now. And we all are there to help you with anything you need. And we are so excited to see your projects.
Thank you, Lily. Really appreciate it. So we are now moving on to our Kaboom workshop. Ornella and Tiga are going to be doing this. I'm going to pull Nathan. Actually, no, Nathan, I'm going to leave you up. H, do you want to stay up for banter too?
I don't mind.
You guys can stay. The more
I'll
the
keep
merrier.
everyone on, but I am going to bring up Tiga, the amazing Tiga, who is the developer behind Kaboom. And I'll add a link to Nathan, do you mind adding this link to the chat so that people can follow along if they want to code along with Ornella and Tiga?
Of course.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to mute myself and go away for a little bit.
Okay, Tiga, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
So I have not used Kaboom, and we know Tiga is the master of Kaboom. So he's going to teach me how to make a game. And I'm going to share my screen. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it from the top. Let's see. Okay. From the top. Should we do a little intro, Tiga?
Yeah. So for those who missed the intro, the beginning, my name is Tiga. I'm the developer of Kaboom, and today I'm going to be making a game from scratch with Ornella, just to show you what Kaboom looks like if you haven't used it already, just as an option for a tool for the game jam.
Yeah. So I'm Ornella, and I work on developer relations here. And I am new to Replit, so I'm still learning all of the cool things that we have. And one of them is Kaboom. And we're going to show you how easy it is to start with the Kaboom template on Replit and go to a game in 45 minutes. So let's do it. We're going to start by making the REPL. Someone wants me to turn on dark mode. Just for you. Here you go. Okay. So we're going to start by making a new REPL. And then in the templates, we're going to look for Kaboom. We're going to call it my game. Woohoo. And we're going to make this REPL.
Okay.
Cool. Tiga, do you want to tell us what we're seeing here?
Yeah, for sure. So this is what the Kaboom template looks like. So the first special thing you would see here is the sidebar, which has a special sidebar that's specifically tailored to Kaboom. It has several sections like the code files, and has a sprite section which displays all your sprites you have imported in your game. There's also similar for the sounds, and there's also a learn tab which contains some small tutorials for you to get started with Kaboom. And the rest is pretty much similar to what Replit offered, the code pane. And also, by default, there will be a tutorial showing up, which is also the game we are going to be building today. It's a simple, like a dinosaur running game. If you use Chrome, you would know that. So like you control a small character and you just jump over small obstacles to get more points.
Yeah, this is what it looks like.
Have you invited me to the repo yet, Ornella?
I just sent you the chat. I sent it to you in the chat on.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Thanks. Yep. So I'm in the repo now. So before we started live coding the game, I want to first show you what the game will look like after we completed it. So I just copied the full code over here.
I'm just gonna regenerate the join link really quick.
Okay.
Because I think we have some visitors.
Yep.
Yes, while I see a lot of people are somewhat confused. The theme will be revealed at the end. We're going to get this workshop done and then do a quick wrap up, and we will announce the theme. So stay tuned. You guys will be the first to know. Yes, this is JavaScript. This is a JavaScript library.
You go try that one.
Okay, I think I'm good because I'm already in the repo.
Okay,
So
nice.
it's all good now.
The banner.
Nice.
Okay, let me reshare that screen. Okay.
So, yeah, so I'll be I'm refreshing the game now, so as you can see, actually it has to be done on your side. Well, now can you try running the game?
Yeah.
So the game is you're starting with this character and you use spacebar to jump over these. You have to focus to the web view. So you use spacebar.
I'm really bad at this game.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's made pretty hard. It's made really hard. Yep. And you get a nice burp at the end.
Yes.
Iconic.
Yep. That's
It is a signature burp for sure.
That's the core of Kaboom. So let's go ahead and start making this. So when you just started the repo, it'll have these starter codes. So so let me briefly introduce what these code does. So first we want to import the Kaboom package from import the Kaboom package, which is already installed with the template. And then we call the Kaboom function to initialize the Kaboom game. So if we remove all these and just call the Kaboom function, it basically will give us the template to work on. And then we load, the next step is to load, we're loading the sprites.
So Tiga, if I put more sprites in this side pane here, I would be able to load them in the code also, right?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, we can try that. Let me just put in the sprite really quick, just to demonstrate the sprite loading aspects. So
Oh.
as you can see, I added a butterfly sprite, and if I just copy that in, load the butterfly sprite and change the sprite here, we'll go to here later to this, and if you run the game again, it'll be the butterfly.
Oh, cute.
That's the sprite loading part. And then we got to this function, which is basically the core of Kaboom, which is the add function, which adds a game object to the screen. And Kaboom works with components. So each game object. So game objects means every entity on screen. So this is a game object in Kaboom. So every game object in Kaboom is composed from a list of components. And each component would define a certain behavior of the game object. So there is actually a pretty Ornella, if you can switch to the markdown pane on the bottom right and scroll to, there should be a graphic that shows you
oh, here we go.
Yeah. So if you look at this graphic, it's actually the earliest version of Fiend. It has legs and hands.
Fiend.
So the idea of game
objects, the components are like the properties.
Yeah, exactly. So each component contains a group of properties. So for example, in this graphic, the eye could be a component of this person, which contains methods like close. We can close the eye and we can wink with the eye.
Got it.
The hand would also be a component. Like you can raise your hand, you can grab stuff, and you can slap stuff. So in the actual code here, we have the sprite component, and so the sprite component is makes the game object to render as a sprite. So later we'll come over other render related components like rectangle, and so on. but here we're using the Sprite component, and we're passing in the butterfly argument, which we just loaded here. And the second component we have here is the position. Pause means position component. So what this does is it controls the position of the game object on the screen. So here we are defining it to have an X position of 80 and a Y position of 40. So if we change this to something else, like if we change it to 300, if you refresh the game right now, you should see it.
Oh yeah,
right.
it spawns in a different place.
Yep, exactly.
Cool.
And
so what is the area component? That's the one that I'm not sure.
Yeah, so area is it's a little bit tricky because we actually can't see the effect here right now. So this, if you hover over it, you can see it generates a collider area from the shape. So this will make, so in a lot of games, works by detecting collision between stuff. So they can respond to any collision. Like for example, if your player game object collide with a bullet or something, we want to detect that and do something like reduce player health or do something like that. So if we want to use collision detection, we have to give game object the area component. And you cannot see it right now because we don't have any other game object to collide with. But if you or now if you press the F1 key on the canvas, if you press F1.
Oh wait, hold on.
Okay, no problem.
No, what's going on?
Are you able to press the F1 key?
There we go.
Oh yeah. So F1 key will make Kaboom go into a debug mode, which will show you the collider as outlines.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's really cool.
Today I learned. That's really cool. And so we know we're going to use the collider because we need to be able to distinguish when bean hits the little boxes.
Yep, exactly. So, and we'll get to that later. And
Awesome.
Right here, we have this Unclick function. So Unclick is an event handler. It registers an event that runs basically every time you click on the canvas here, it'll run this function that you pass here. So this function is we're calling a built-in function called Kaboom, which basically gives you
which does this.
Yes, exactly. It generates like a Kaboom explosion at your mouse position, which we passed as the argument here. And another thing, similarly, another event handler we can use is onKeyPress, which runs exactly. We want to define something that runs every time we press a key, and in this case, we pass in the first argument, which is the which key to respond to, and we pass a function. And burp is the function built into Kaboom, which gives you a burp sound.
We have a question on the screen. Can you make the area fit to an actual sprite instead of a rectangle bounding box?
Yep, exactly. Oh, do you mean like
I think they mean like instead of this bounding box.
Oh.
To have it actually be like accurate to the outline of the butterfly.
So that is not supported. That is actually a very complicated thing to do in games. So in Kaboom right now, in the current version, you can only do straight rectangles. But in later versions, which is going to be released this year, we are going to be doing. You'll be able to do rotated rectangles and circles and also polygons.
Awesome. Could you combine sprites into like one bigger one? So maybe you could have more accurate, like maybe you can have each of the wings be a sprite and the body be a sprite, and then you could have even more accurate.
Yep, exactly. That's one way to do it, Nathan. Yeah. But you have to be careful that you don't want too many colliders on screen, but because that will back down the performance. So we'll just get started into making our game right now. So we're just going to go back to the game. And let's add the first thing. So the first thing in our game we want to do is we actually want to have gravity in this game because we want bean to fall on the ground where you can jump. So to do that, we're going to add a new component here, which is called the buddy component. So buddy, so this component, what this component does is it gives the game object the ability to react to physics. So if when we don't have this component, our game driver is basically floating on the sky if there's gravity. But if we add the body component, you actually fall.
Oh,
So that's the
wow.
first thing we're going to add. And just after that, I think we don't want it to fall infinitely. We definitely want a ground to hold him that we can actually see him.
So we want to make a little floor.
Yep, we want to make a little floor right now. So to add the floor, we're actually going to add another game object because it's an entity on the screen. So for this, we are actually going to try the rectangle component, which is similar to Sprite, but instead of rendering as a Sprite, it will render as a rectangle. So the rect function, it takes in, I think, 2 arguments, which is the width and the height. We'll try. Let's try something basic first. So if we add this, you can see there's, if you refresh, you can see, oops.
There we go.
You can see there's a little rectangle on the top left corner.
Oh. Okay, so can you make that dynamic to the size of the canvas?
Yep, exactly. You can do that. So to do that, you use the you want to get the width of the canvas, and we can do that by using the width function, which returns the width of the screen. So if you try this now, let me just.
So just to clarify, for every item that we add to the screen, we use a new add function and then populate that with the list of components for that item.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so now we have a full width rectangle. We want to make it stick to the bottom to act as the ground. So to do that, we want to make we want to give it a position, which the x should still be 0 because the width is a full canvas, but the height, we want it to actually stick to the bottom. So we're actually want to use the height of the canvas. But the problem is if you try running the game right now, it'll be outside of the canvas. You can't see it because the height value is actually the top left corner of the rectangle, so it's actually outside the screen. So we actually want to make the anchor point of the rectangle to be at least on the y-axis to be at the bottom point. So it's when we give a y position of the height, it actually points to the bottom position of the rectangle. So we are going to use this origin component, which defines the origin point of the rectangle, where the position is going to be. Let's see. Yep, so we can see the rectangle right now.
Tia, I feel like I didn't really sign up for a math class, but there's a lot of math happening here.
Oh yeah, the origin function does have some math involved, but we can. Sorry, Nathan.
Quick break. We've got a bunch of questions lined up. Well, two big ones. First one, a lot of people asking. Maybe we can do this next. How do you change the background? And then I saw briefly another. I'll just address this. Another user asked, can you show how to do multiplayer? I don't think we're going to be able to do multiplayer in the 45 minutes that we have, but there might be more resources posted later, and would highly recommend checking out multiplayer in the Learn tab on the Kaboom REPL. What is the Learn tab? Most REPLs don't have that.
Yeah, so that's a Kaboom specific thing where you can the multiplayer, but the multiplayer document actually doesn't really teach you multiplayer. It just shows you how you can. So you still have to have some experience and knowledge on making multiplayer game with Kaboom. It's not that out of the box yet, but it's definitely a plan of the future that have better support for multiplayer. But for the background image or background, we'll do it right after this. So currently we still have a problem that the platform, the floor is not stopping being from passing through.
Mm.
So to do that, we are actually going to use the solid component here, which makes an object be a solid object that also responds to gravity, responds to physics, but does not fall. So
Okay, because if we wanted to add gravity to something, we'd have to add the body component.
yep.
Okay.
And if you wanted to react to gravity but physics but not fall, like you don't want other objects to pass through it, use the solid component. But if you run the game now, it'll give you an error message. Yeah, exactly. The component solid requires component area. So there are some components that require other components. So in this case, we're just gonna pass it another area because it needs a collider for Kaboom to know that when they collide ends, so Kaboom can make sure they don't pass through. So
did everyone see that? Hold on, I'll do it again. Ooh, there he goes.
That's awesome. This is very like intuitive. We just created like physics, added sprites, a floor across the entire thing. That didn't take like any code at all.
Yeah, it's
That's
kind of
awesome.
So we have questions about how to change the background and how to change the color of the rectangle, which I know we're gonna do.
Yeah, we're gonna first change the color of the rectangle. So to change the color, we use the color component, which is very similar to what we are on. So the color component takes in arguments of the RGB value of the color. So I think let's match with the tutorial here. Let's see what's the tutorial color. All right, I think let's first just throw in a random value. I think this is blue RGB. If you refresh the game now, it should be a blue, very blue rectangle. And let's actually make it a little bit prettier. Let me see what the color is.
Let's see what color. Oh, I
got it.
You got it?
Some other people have been asking, do you know what any of the limits are? Like another person asked how many kind of how many collision objects you can have on a screen at once.
Yep. So Kaboom currently is not built entirely for performance yet. So if you're comparing performance, it does not match the best game engines out there currently. So if you're planning on building a game that has a lot of physics, have a lot of collisions going on, you can try Kaboom. But if you want the maximum performance, you should also research on other game engines. So yep, let's get continue with our game here. I'll also add a outline just to match the outline component, just to match our being here. Oops, but it okay. So let's do the background image now. So one way to do the background is we just add a rectangle, or the background color is just to add a rectangle with a full width and height of this canvas, and it's positioned at the top left, or let's just make it 0. Background. Let's say we want to color. I'm actually not sure what color we're gonna have. Fine. We don't need all these because the background definitely doesn't need to react to physics. Let's see what this does. Oops. If you run the game now.
Let's see.
They actually cover everything up because we are calling this function before these two. To solve that, we just need to put it before.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
Interesting. So it's kind of sequential.
Yep. So it does matter to sequence. But another way is we can actually also use the Z component, which is similar to Z index in CSS if you have used it.
Got it.
So the Z, oops. Looks like that actually has to be lower. If you give it a Z component value of very low, lower than these because it defaults to 0. Like it defaults to like this for if you don't have this. You can also use this to order the rendering sequence of game objects. Yeah. So let me just add a comment here for the floor. Next up, we're gonna
Very important to comment your code.
Yep.
Everyone.
Yeah. And actually, just to show how to use a sprite as a background image. Right aspect. We're probably not going to use this because it's going to look very bad here because you'll see. You can also use a sprite as a background image, but you have to adjust the width and the height. So in this case, we can just assign it to the full width and height of the canvas. Oops. I shouldn't have this.
Tiga, how do we make little bean jump?
Oh yeah, that's what we're gonna do right after.
Oh.
This is using Sprite as
I don't know about this.
I don't know about this either. Let's just comment.
Let's comment that out and let's make little bean jump.
Yep. Maybe comment it. Okay. So to make little bean jump, we're actually going to use a function that comes with the body components bar being here. So first, we're going to assign this game object to a variable. So this variable, this game object, will contain all the functions that inherited from these components. So there's one function called jump, which is provided by the body component. We're actually going to use try to jump whenever user presses space key.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I think if you try this, it already works.
That's literally so easy. Let me put him in there.
Yeah.
Now, did I miss it? Did you assign bean to a variable?
Yep. So we assign bean to the variable. If you scroll a little bit up.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Yep.
So we made a little bean variable, and now we can make bean jump.
That is super easy.
Very cool. I'm just gonna make him fly away. Whee!
Yeah. Make bean fly.
Okay, so we have him jumping. What is he gonna jump over?
I think at first, so he's gonna be jumping through some rectangles, some blocks in our game. I actually call them trees, although they don't look like trees. But let's just call them trees. So they are
trees in
also,
this world.
Yes, trees in this world are rectangles, straight rectangles. So to add some trees, let's add one tree first. It's also going to be a game object, and going to be using a rectangle. Give it a just arbitrary width of 40 maybe. And a height of 70 maybe. So let's first see this. We have a rectangle here. Let me get the color of the tree. Where's the color of the tree? Okay, so it's gonna have this color, and also gonna have a version of bottom left. So now it also should have a area, so we can detect collision with it.
Right.
Oh, also get a position give it a random position right now. Let's say 300 and height minus our.
Okay, let's see what happens. Oh.
Okay, so it's just. Oops.
I ran it too early. Hold on. There we go.
Oh yeah. So we have
a little tree
rectangle here floating on the sky. Actually, on a quick tip is you can actually use the refresh button on the web view to reload.
This guy?
Yep. You don't have to run every time because this should be fast. Another way to quickly reload your game is press Command Command S when you're inside the editor. It'll be very fast when you're quickly iterating through the game.
Oh, look, nice.
Command
Okay,
S,
this is helpful because when you're making a game, you make a lot of little changes.
Yes, exactly. So now let's actually make the tree stick to the platform. To do that, we just need to position the tree better. So we see the platform has a height of 40 here, and we actually want the bottom y value of the tree to be height minus 40, so it'll be just above the platform here. So let's actually, it's a good practice for constant value of this, it's a good practice to assign these to some constant variables. So let's try finding a platform height variable, which equals to 40, and replace it with this. And try to position this tree like this. You can see now, if you refresh it, it should just stick to the platform.
Nice.
Nice. And that's good advice to anyone creating games. A lot of the time you're just going to have miscellaneous numbers, like we have 340. A lot of those numbers have a reason. So assigning them to like a variable that kind of gives those numbers a name helps you keep track of why a number is there.
Yeah, that makes sense. I remember learning that many years ago in school.
It also makes changing everything a lot easier because then you just got to change the variable.
Yep.
Yeah.
So right now, if you change it to 80, it should just work with both the. If you can refresh now.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Nice.
Just a small tip. And I see someone asking if there's any camera effects. So yes, there's actually one effect you can do is there's a shake function built into, which is as a screen shake when it's called. So if you run the game now and press space key, the camera will shake.
Oh.
And also you can check out, there's if you go to kaboomjs.com and go to the playground, there's a demo called camera. So there's a lot of demo. Ornella, can you try to go to another tab in this screen share?
Yeah, what where do you want me to go? Kaboom.
Go to kaboomjs.com.
Let me share that one. So this is the little playground, right?
Yep. So this is the Kaboom website, and there's a playground here, and there's a drop-down menu on the top, which contains a lot of demos to demonstrate a lot of different aspects. So there is one camera example. If you focus, you have to focus on the canvas though to move. Yeah. Some demo of making the camera follow the player and stuff. So you can check this out on the website.
Very cool.
Yep.
Okay, Tiga, I think we showed everyone a nice little teaser of what you can do with Kaboom. I think people want to know the theme.
Oh yeah.
So maybe give the people what they want.
Oh my gosh. Well, first, let's get a little digital applause for Ornella and Tiga for that awesome workshop. I learned a little bit. Ornella, did you learn a little bit?
I feel like I can make this game by myself now.
Exciting. Awesome. Yes, folks, give a little thanks to our wonderful presenters, Ornella and Tiga, in the chat. We love them. Cool. So without further ado, let me just double check these slides real fast.
Quick plug that there's going to be an awesome video of the theme on TikTok. So, and it's going to be posted right after we announce it here. So if you missed the announcement, or if you want to send it to a friend, you want to tell them what the theme is in a cool way, you can just share this little TikTok on our Replit account and they'll find out what the theme is.
Yes. There'll be plenty of ways to learn it. Is my screen dark again? My bad.
Working now.
No, we can see it.
All right, cool. It's all the windows I have open for this to run so smoothly for everyone. Self-sabotage. Another plug is to check out our wonderful judge, Ebony, her channel, Metal and Coffee. She's doing a Twitch stream on Kaboom, kind of like the workshop you just saw, on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific. I've got her link up there. Follow her. Awesome content. And we've got our closing ceremony on July 9th, same time as we had this today. So set your alarms. That's where we'll be announcing winners and playing some of the games. All right. And we forgot something else.
What did we miss?
The theme.
Oh!
Okay, last call for people. What do you guys think the theme is? Go ahead and add your guesses in the chat.
I don't think people really care about the theme. I think largely no one's been talking about, asking about it. So maybe we don't even need to share it.
People are thinking it's food, something tasty.
If you get the theme right.
I haven't seen anyone correctly guess. Some people have gotten somewhat close. But
I think there is one person in chat got it right.
Yeah, one person got it right earlier.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead. What's the theme? It's spicy. And my GIF isn't working because of the way the slides are sharing. But you'll see a GIF very soon on all of our socials. The theme, people, is spicy. That's the sound of spicy. Get those creative engines going. Start thinking about how you'll build your game according to this theme. What will your sprites be? What will the challenge be? And stay tuned for much more information from us throughout the week. We are here to support you, to inspire you, and we hope you'll inspire us too with your games.
I would highly recommend you guys, even though the theme is somewhat optional, it gives you more points, gives you a higher chance of getting that grand prize, and restrictions breed creativity. So take a shot. It may seem at first, but take the time to think about it, get some ideas, and then strike. Create that game you've been waiting to create.
There we go.
We have it.
Shout out Joe for this amazing art. It's so
All
good.
of the art.
It's so good.
All right, so we'll drop some last helpful links in the chat so that you can stay in contact with us throughout the week. And otherwise, thank you all so much for joining us. It's been such a pleasure. Thank you to my co-hosts and to all of our judges. Really appreciate all of you, and let the games begin. Let's do it.
Woo!